Any questions?
I have a question. The microphone?
Yes.
Rinpoche, you've talked about doing the visualization of catching the whole image in just one. I've heard other teachings of building up pieces, piece by piece, saying the attributes are like a peaceful deity has 17 attributes. And becoming familiar first with the pieces. Is that also something that one can do? Obviously, the advantage to doing the whole thing at once.
네, 현지 라바 안에는 그래서 직접도 라바 탄이 끼를 잡아 끼는 타고 나는 잡아 타 뭐에 어떻게 가르치는 줄.
So there's actually many approaches to the practice, and such as everything all at once, or piece by piece, like stage by stage building up the image. Or there is the method of starting in the center and working out, or starting at the periphery and working in. There's many ways to train in this practice, and whichever one employs is fine.
So
the main point is one trains with the mind very relaxed.
what?
I thank you, Rinpoche, for all your directions about relaxation, and in a lot of ways they make sense to me in terms of everyday life, but I find that what I'm worrying about is always something to do with somebody else that I'm related to or responsible for. And I find that that's what intrudes, not necessarily in my seated practice, but in my daily life. You know, students or children or people I supervise.
신직강연에 저랑 탑 가세투도를 펜 타봤어요. 저랑 탑시 탑당 싫어. 가세투도 주제. 나 가시 펜 타봤어요. 가시 펜도 쓰고 말했어. 내서를 펜 말해 펜도 두고 말했지 내서 가가래. 내 지난 면에 가세투도 제일 가지.
So benefit others as much as you are able. You should help them as much as is possible. Whether that results in them being benefited or not, that's another story. But just you must have that, whatever you can do, you should help others. And using skillful means and wisdom, help others as much as you can. Just suppose on top of this post there was a big round object. Just suppose there was one big round stone, rock, on top of that column.
nhóc thầm này nhóc cái thầm gì nữa thầm thì nhóc thôi xong rồi xem đây là phân đồng của
And so, just suppose you were trying to jump from the bottom to try to grab it. You couldn't get it. It's not possible. You do not have the means to reach up and take it. So then what would be the point of thinking, oh, I can't do it, I can't succeed at doing this? And so it's possible that to you will come problems, difficulties and so on. Solution.
Fix it.
That's it. So in whatever those problems may arise, you have two questions. Can you solve? Is there a solution or is there no solution?
탑 여봐 하고 탑 여기는 센터 고구문도
And so if you have means to solve the problem, then you know you have the means. You don't have to worry about it. And so because you have the means to solve the problems, then gradually, stage by stage, it'll be okay. And so there's no reason to worry. And if there is no means to solve any particular problem, just no way to solve that problem, then there's no reason to have anything to worry about because you can't solve it anyway.
강에 가르치고 강에는 팽고 말해서 선조들이 다른 키랑키랑 덩그리 키랑키랑이야 세바 준주수.
And so if there's no means to solve the problem and then you just sit there feeling depressed and worried and beating yourself, pulling out your hair, crying and so on, this doesn't help the problem at all. For example,
stock market one.
So at the time when the stock market is falling down,
stock market Central stock market 1 cent.
So when the stock market is falling down like this, then you thinking, oh, it's terrible, what a disaster, what a shame, everything's coming down, and then beating yourself up, pulling your hair out, crying, worrying, all of that won't make the stock market go back up, not even 1 cent. So if all that worrying, crying, fretting and so on, if that would make the stock market go back up, then that would be good, that would be okay to worry. However much you can worry, you should worry as much as you can. But it won't help. It'll just tighten you up. Your ideas, your notions become very small. And so you cannot have that expansiveness. It won't help.
Try your best.
So then, just try your best to help, and then whether that's successful or not is a whole other story.
사람도 내라 나가래 그래.
It depends upon the karma of the others.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I have a question, or maybe three questions related to devotion and faith to the Lama. The Lama is in human form. Does the Lama have to be humanly perfect? For example, if everything about the teachings provided by the Lama is wonderful, but for example, if this is only an example, if he smokes, he drinks, and he does other things that I don't necessarily agree with, is there something that I have to work within my obstacles, within myself, or do I go and look for a different Lama? And when is it blind faith? When is it true faith?
Lama Jules, ini pernah lama di dua ratus tahun, Arab tahun, di ratus citing cium di ratus year ini kau mau kaya cebores. If the Lama smokes and drinks, then you should smoke and drink. Just kidding.
라마 세인데. 아무 따지지 그래. 라마 간주면 네 말이야. 라마 생일 때 맞지. 그거래. 띠인데 다음. 나라 라마 때 가서 그래. 가서 라마 통원 남산 라마 때는 제가 생겨.
To begin with, you should check out the Lama, examine the Lama. Don't just throw yourself at whatever Lama appears and the one that you see, just that's the one kind of thing. So you must be careful in examining the Lama.
빼셔버려. 그래. 지워지기. 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 창대. 네? 나보 창 마셔도 뭐라. 따지다. 창 와서 미리 내고 추기 내고 lumba nego kau 따지다. 아니 창 소리. 다 끼고. 아니 창 소리 차는 가디에 내고 따지단 말이야. 남자들하고.
So, as an example, in Tibet there's a certain bird that you can see chooses its site of its nest very, very carefully. And it looks around, like in the cliffs and the rocks or whatever, and it looks to see, is this a place that's safe from the harm from humans? Is it safe from the wind? Is it safe from the water? Is it safe from whatever kind of problems, other predators and so on? And so the bird looks all around and sees and so on, and then when it decides, then it makes its nest. After that point, it always goes straight to the nest, doesn't look side by side, like doesn't look around at all.
근데 다 라마네 창통, 라마네 쥐바 담에 저기는 링이야. 야는 땀수 떠고 통보세. 야는 가야 내가지 주마치를 아무 좀.
And so, in the case of the Lama that behaves in all kinds of so-called inappropriate ways, has a very controversial behavior, such as drinking, smoking, and so on, there's two possibilities. Either this is very great Lama with enormous realization, or the Lama's a fake.
또 통보이나? 호 나와서 예시를 줘. 영문도 예시를 줘야 돼. 근데 강시하네요. 춘이 그러봐. 근데 라마 코로나야. 맞아. 두사와이나? 두사와 내 코로나 더 주고 와. 내가 차이야.
So if it's a Lama with great, very high realization, then all appearances has been purified, and so whatever appears is just the play, magical play of the Dharmata, and so all conflicting emotions are transformed into wisdom. So just in the same way as the peacock eats the poison and that enhances the color of its plumage, then such a lama, whatever occurs is just the play of Dharmata.
떠오르는 내가 나무 주마. 첫째는 나 똑같으면 나는 연민이 세계에서 도나 나 사투미 나 대통령이 세계 도나 나무 주마입니다.
And so if so on the other side, the false lama, the one that says that I have great experience and realization, that says I see the deities and so on, those kinds of things are signs that the lama is false. And so, like saying that I'm equal to the Buddha, that I have great realization, whatever I do is perfectly fine because I'm equal to the Buddha. There are these days some false lamas who claim to be equal to the Buddha.
오늘 저녁에 라마 친이 돼버렸어. 가지는 나를 마시래. 나 저하고 날면 좋았어.
And so, for instance, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is amazing, high realization. It's a Lama of most perfect qualities, all qualities present. But never once does he ever say, oh, I have realization, I have clairvoyance or anything. He never speaks of his own qualities.
타이완은 달라고 표현했어.
One time the Dalai Lama went to Taiwan.
타이완에서 점주나 내려를 가게.
And in Taiwan, those people there really love to see miraculous displays, like miracle displays. And some said to His Holiness, do you have miracle power? And he said, no, I have none.
담보 코란 나라냐 나차. 콜 빠빠 나사. US 코란. 네. 이제 교회야. 팀에 땅이. 그냥 땅 두요 말이야. 그냥 준주요 말이야.
And he said, if I had miraculous power, the first thing I would fix is this itchy skin. It's like itchiness to the skin. And he says, but I can't even fix that. I heard one story. I heard one story of one Lama said that he was going to call up the Buddha on the telephone. He said that before the Buddha didn't have any satellite service, but now he does. If you want to make this call, then you must dial first 000. And so said he would call to make an appointment for the Buddha to come to meet them at a coffee shop. And so he said that the Buddha came down to this appointment and he went to meet him. And he asked the Buddha, would you like to drink coffee? And the Buddha said, no, thank you, I don't drink that. And the Lama said, well, what's the reason for that? And the Buddha said, no, because the coffee is black, therefore I don't drink it. And he drank coffee. And the Buddha did not drink coffee. Sanjay. And the Buddha said to him, the Buddha said to me that have a noble attitude towards others.
Dene ko sanji ko yan lo song.
And then the Buddha went back up.
Dene ko ma lambar ko ba jaw nyong.
And he went walking away along the road.
Lambar mi kasi ke lambar dene te se de. Esa ya lambar dene te dene. Pesa ti pesa mo ko thuli. Number
That's a,
number na tu te da. Ko number ti ne.
yeah,
Je cho lotus.
that's it.
Lotus.
Oh, lottery. That's it.
Dene music je cho ti te ra je la tu ko.
That's it.
Number ti te ra ko.
Number chitero,
Number ti te ra la tu.
That's it.
Lam ko sa ta. Lambar te te na. Ti 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 ma. Mati ba ina ni hawo dos. Dene mate na yang sanji ke kran samba sa ko je la song. Ne. No ka che.
And so, in this area, in Taiwan, Singapore,
Malaysia.
is in Malaysia area, and so there people would ask somebody considered like holy person for a number that they could use to buy a lottery ticket of that number, thinking that that would be a source of good luck. And so as he was walking down the road, some people came up to him and asked him for a number. Please give them a number. And so he was thinking, well, if I give them a number, maybe it won't work out, so that's not so good. But the Buddha told me I should have a very noble attitude towards others, so I wonder what I should do.
And number days.
And so he gave a number,
In a top do.
but they didn't win the lottery.
Okay, second. Finish. Okay. Who's next? Okay.
This is a question. Yesterday, when Mr. Morello used the term omniscience, you corrected him and said clairvoyance, that you really were saying clairvoyance. And often people think that omniscience means that someone can see everywhere, can see through the room, past and future. Would you say that omniscience actually means that it has to do with knowing what the nature of things, simply knowing the nature of what things is or are, emptiness, that that's omniscience as we would understand it?
Omniscience 또 선계. 그래서 선계를 요구하는데 이 믿기만 해. 믿기만 뺏어버려. 되게 omniscience 말았어.
So omniscience applies to the Buddha, all knowledge. And so because the example was about an ordinary person, then the word clairvoyance is what applied. This is why I corrected Mr. Morelli on the words to use clairvoyance instead of omniscience.
너 다음 주에 봤을 때 가르친 영어였으나 나랑도 선전 탐지가 내로 나가라고 정말. 대인데 최탐지가 싸워 선게 나와 탐지 내버려 못 버려. 나와 탐지 가는 타마에 선지 나와래. 근데 선게 내로 다치 말랑 최탐지가 내로 가래 똥만이. 똥만이다 선지 내로 다치 말 시작이 있나? 근데 최탐지 시에 보여. 선지 내로 다들는 게도. 선지 내로 다치 말 시는 최탐지 선을 정하라고 선지 당하라고.
So this omniscience or all knowledge that pertains to the Buddha, then because all phenomena appears from the mind, then if the Buddha has completely understood the nature of mind, the nature of the minds of all sentient beings. And therefore, because all phenomena arises from the mind, through the complete understanding of the mind, then that individual is able to understand the nature of all phenomena.
Rinpoche, the yidam deities have a form, they have legs, eyes, often very unattractive features like ekajaki. And how did it come to be decided that these are the pure manifestation of form as opposed to other forms?
상계가 도대체 냠도 청소소 상계도 냠도 청소소
성수소.
미팅
어.
상계가 냠도 미팅 전에
어?
근데 넘버데 야고에 상계가 다지.
So it's because they went together for a meeting with the Buddha, and the Buddha said, "Oh yeah, this is a good form."
야고에
No good.
취미 뭐 이시라
In the essence of Dharmata, in the wisdom, which is the wisdom,
되는 예식을 랑신테라 일단 가도 가요 말했어.
in the self-nature of this wisdom, there is no shape or color.
이는요 코 예시대 거랑 가서 그래 마 신된제 semchen shen gu den tuong lu ibdan khado na ka tepa in ramdun chu shen su se do.
And so from this primordial wisdom, in order to benefit sentient beings, then manifests all kinds of form, color and form and so on. And so it's said that there are the two kayas. For one's own benefit there is the Dharma kaya, and for the benefit of others is the form kayas. And this form kaya has two aspects, of the Sambhoga kaya and the Nirmana kaya. And due to the variety of the propensities and abilities of different sentient beings, because of their constitution and their elemental makeup and so on, then the form kayas manifest in all these different forms in order to be in accordance with the needs of beings. And so, in other words, the Buddha himself, there's no reason that the Buddha has one face and two arms and two legs. If the Buddha had first appeared in China, then he would have a long beard. And so in the essence of the true meaning, then samsara and nirvana are equal. So thus one could say that, for instance, the pigs and dogs and so on, snakes, all of this, their form is absolutely perfect. One could say that. It's okay. And so this is appearance of the same flavor, it is said. And so, which means that in like good and bad are of the same taste. But to the beginner, there is the idea of there being good and bad. So because of this, then there is the manifestation of this, of what is considered good.
I'm sorry, I don't understand how that came to be decided, that a form like ekajati or hayagriva, which is very foreign to our kind of Western conditioned mind, how did that come to be drawn or portrayed, and what are there some specific features of this form that are supposed to help us rather than other features?
감각 천도서 내공만 아주 천도서 주어진 타제가 어디나 타제.
And just like the same way we go into the shopping store and decide on what we want to put together.
Office.
Oh, in the office.
At your meeting?
Oh.
산이단지 천도서 타제.
And so it was like, so there was like a big meeting and all the Buddhas went to the office to decide and what they should promote.
갈때 상기 그게 계란 동바데 야보도스네 손을 타쳐 계란 동바데 아주 기름 넣고.
So if the Buddhas had decided that your face was perfectly representation of this utter purity, then we could all meditate on your face. So for instance, Ekajati is portrayed one eye. This represents represents the single eye represents the single sphere of the Dharmata.
들숨 교체 단지 zan보다 내바단지 찍바 코로바다 내바단지 찍바 아니 아까 냐번님도 또 이런 찍을 때.
And it is meaning because all phenomena of samsara and nirvana, all appearance of good and bad is seen as one flavor. So this is the realization of the single flavor of all phenomena. And she has one breast. This is the symbol of the single flavor.
One taste.
One taste. One taste. So there's all kinds of meanings like that. This will come afterwards. Remember there was the third aspect of the arising stage where I said it was the remembering the utter purity. This is what's coming now.
You spoke about the Shine and the Latons, how it applies to this generation of the solutions. Will you be able to talk a little bit about the post-meditation aspect, how it's one maintaining the view, which I find to be the most challenging part of post-meditation?
If we have time, I will explain this later.
Hello? Rinpoche, you talked about the three propensities of individuals pertaining to yidam practice, which was the arising stage, and then the third one was the nature of mind, completely unelaborated. And the second one you said included the training in Tiglek, the winds, the channels, and so forth. And I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more about how that relates to yidam practice, or how those go together.
Did you say
Relates with nature mind?
relating with the nature of mind, or you want
Tigle practice and yidam practice.
you're interested in the Samum Tigle practice?
Yes. You said that was the second of the three propensities.
Samum Tigle Chipo.
아, 기름 실감, 저런 실감.
We're engaged in the instructions on the arising stage at the moment, and so we are actually not discussing the Samum Tigle practice.
이나양, 지도적으로 드시.
But however, I will explain very briefly the like all in one meaning.
르니요. 라블르, 마다 라블르, 차블르, 신은 남다블르 르숨. 숨. 라파, 마다와, 마다, 차와, 마다 다보다 신도 남다스. 마다와는 다음에다 이념도 세워다 신도 남다블르. 릴라멘티게 르숨.
You actually have three bodies. So we have the coarse body, that is the impure body that we perceive. Then you have the mixed, that is the mixture of the pure and the impure. And then you have the utterly pure body.
야는 라파다 차와 신도 차와서
Or it may be described in terms of the coarse, the subtle, and the extremely subtle bodies. So the coarse body, this one changes, and at the time of death, this is destroyed. And so, but at the time of the bardo, there is one body, and so this is the subtle body that survives into the bardo. And then we have what's called the wisdom body, that is the extremely subtle body. And this cannot be perceived by the five senses. And so this coarse, subtle, and this extremely subtle body are together have this interconnection. So if through the practice of gaining mastery of the Salum Tigle of this coarse body and of the subtle body, then the force of the coarse body is decreased, and the actual qualities and the power of the extremely subtle body is actualized, and therefore this transforms your ordinary body. And so by means of this, then one's own projected appearances, impure appearances, is destroyed. And so this appearance of the coarse body is like released.
근데 깨워다 시험에도 차려요.
And so you will be without birth and death.
밀어봐. 코랑 신. 나와 지금 다 송아래. 네? 코랑 몇 발을 로드 몇 발을 까면 코랑 로만 찔려면 아니 안 잘라면 죄송.
For instance, like it's a Milarepa who had he'd been dead for a month, and at the time of them beginning the cremation of the body, then at that time a disciple, that arriving late, arrived, and the corpse, the body, got back up and began to teach.
그냥 몇 발 샀어요. 사실 진짜 로만 찔려 출당이요.
And
대제 멤버 사서 책 사서 이는 그냥 사실 진짜 제가 코랑 출당이요.
And so then they burned the body, but at that time, after that time, Milarepa appeared and was giving other teachings in another place.
깨워야 치워 수강 출발와 내가 들어가라.
So birth and death, these are illusions, right? There's no reality in birth and death.
출발다는 출발 나왔다.
And if you purify illusion, then all the manifestations of illusion are purified.
That is Chinese.
I'm going to leave it like that for now.
다음 나만 속에 깨름비 네 수바 나도 가르치는 남다 플라이 나와서 말이에요.
And so in this discussion, continuing discussion on the arising stage, we are still engaged in the principle of the utter clarity of the visualization.
얘는 딱 플라이 나와서 쓰듯 플라이 나와서 살 점진 맞아 또 맞아 때문에 나랑 하는 살 꿀 차수 이제 안 까고를 투석이 이기면서 때 깎아내면 나바카를 싸울 때 이제 저를.
And so in that period of the meditation, when having established this Vajrapraya of I am the deity, then one visualizes with clarity. And so from time to time one may focus the visualization on whatever part of the deity's form that is clear, just focus on that. Or one may sometimes focus upon the inner mandala inside the heart, for instance.
네, 입 들어왔다. 다음에 주도도나 탑지요.
And so if when you're meditating in this way that the shape or the form of the deity like changes and doesn't stabilize, then there is a method.
탑 가래서는 캐랑게 플라데 꾸려질 거. 스타트.
And so at that time, meditate upon yourself as the deity in the form of a huge statue.
나보면 지워드릴 줄 암전을 마한테.
And imagine that a bird flies up through your nostril and comes out through your ear.
내가 리다 뭐요? 리다. 샤와 나와 그거 그래서 가서 누가 있잖아. 뿜을.
And imagine that surrounding your lower part, there's all kinds of wild animals such as deer and different animals that are pounding and beating upon your knees and your legs.
네. 말한 게 수복한가에 지금 모든 야포르마 포르토.
No.
수복 가서 지금 모든.
And imagine that you have birds like hopping all over your body.
네. 수복한가는 탈라 도와. 탈라 강대.
And then imagine that you're covered in dust. If you meditate like that, this helps on the problem in the arising stage of the shape or changing, the form changing. But if you want to establish really good, clear visualization, then there is a method. And so, therefore, on a very clear day with a cloudless sky, when the sun is shining brightly, open the windows and let the light stream in, and you have a little image of the deity, and you put it in front of you and look at this, study it. Okay? Don't meditate. No visualization. Just look at it. And look from the head down to the legs. And then look from the legs all the way up through to the head. And then look, oh, that's how the hands are, that's how the legs are, and so on, and examine all of the parts. And then, when you're a little tired of that, then just sit, rest, comfortably relax. Meditate on Shine. And again, look. From the head down, from the bottom up. And this would be good to do this for about 5-6 days. And after that, close your eyes. And then this image will appear in your mind. And then you see, in this image, you see this is how the legs are, that's how the arms are, and so on. You see all that. And then make it go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's huge, make it very, very big. And then in an instant, bring it down to very, very small. And then turn it into many. And then sometimes make them walk around. Like they're going for a little hike, a little walk. Sometimes they're laying down, sleeping. And so think of it in this way, that they're just moving like that. And then when that's fairly clear, then just imagine that it just dissolves into you. And then think that you became that deity. Make yourself very big in the form of that deity, very, very small, multiply. And this is a very good exercise for your mind. And then it comes very clear. So this concludes the second point of establishing utter clarity. The third is remembering the utter purity. And so, for instance, in this remembering the utter purity, then some deities have the 3 heads. This means it's a symbol of the 3 kayas. And sometimes the deity and so sometimes the deity has one face, one head, And so this is this symbol that all phenomena is of the nature of this one emptiness. Sometimes the deity has 6 arms. This is a symbol of the 6 paramitas.
Jimba, Sojun, Soba, Sanjun, Zundusha.
The parameters of generosity, morality, energy, discipline, meditation, and wisdom. Diligence.
Yeah.
Did I get all 6? Was that 6?
I don't think you said
Patience. 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 Thank you. Sometimes the deity has 2 legs. This means skillful means of wisdom. Sometimes has 4 legs. Means the 4 noble truths. And if there's 2 legs, it means the 2 truths. And sometimes if the deity is in the Vajra position with the crossed legs, then this means that the 2 truths are, it is the union of the 2 truths. And sometimes the deity is, there's the yab and the yum in sexual union. And the reason for this is that the yab is the actual nature of the yab is the nama is that appearance is of the nature of skillful means. And the yum is the actual nature, is the emptiness nature of wisdom. And that they are in sexual union means the union of appearance and emptiness. For instance, here is this glass. So though this glass appears like a glass, in essence it is not existent. This non-existence is the emptiness nature that is the Yongey. It's the nature of the yum, of the consort. The emptiness is the nature of the consort. Though it is emptiness, we are able to see this glass. This is the appearance of the very nature of skillful means. This is the nature of the yap. And in this one glass, these aspects of the appearance aspect and the emptiness aspect, they're inseparable within this, are they not? Like water and wetness, like fire and heat. You cannot separate them. For this reason, it appears as the yap and the yum in union. So thus, the foundation, which is the union of the 2 truths, and the path, which is the union of skillful means and wisdom, and the result, which is the union of the 2 kayas, this arises from the recognition of nature. This So this is the way
of nature. 준이 방식.
So this is the way that this is the nature of Dharmata.
Ini menjadi 다 상기 롱주 쪽 보세요 들어와. 이 롱주 신감 나슈도 코란 거 커려와. 코란라 칼이 최승 말해. 코란 그 꿈도 찬신 이럴 때 코를 되는 도요.
So, for instance, in the Sambhogakaya pure lands, then there is the entourage of those that are with the Buddha in the Sambhogakaya level. And at that time, the Buddha in the Sambhogakaya form does not speak and actually speak and teach in words, but manifests by demonstrating the appearance, in the Sambhogakaya appearance of the body, the color, the arms and all of that. That is how the teaching is transmitted, and the entourage understands from seeing this manifestation.
난다처럼 계란 검들 말아. 그러나 계란 도시상으로 오지 검이나 샬직 주인 동반이직 찬이 타다처럼. 시험이 되는 소주, 주비 개인주 파르지로 주, 알아서 보다 대리사신
And so in this aspect of the arising stage, of the remembering the utter purity, suppose you're meditating upon yourself as Vajrasattva, then this one the one face is the single emptiness of all phenomena. And the two arms represents the skillful means and wisdom, and the legs in the Vajra posture represents the union of the two truths. And then the six ornaments, Sambhogakaya ornaments represent the six paramitas. And so you just think of that as you meditate. So this concludes my presentation of the remembering the utter purity.
기름 검 값도 값달라 사 나와라 삼다 값달라 남다 담발 삼다 값달라 삼카이 마다네 신이양 떠머니도 없고 다음에
So in the arising stage, then sometimes one meditates thinking of the form of the deity, and sometimes one meditates just thinking of the remembering this utter purity, and sometimes without any thought whatsoever, just like Shine resting in this state of emptiness. And so sometimes one meditates upon the deity, on the nature of the deity as completely beyond appearing, staying, and disappearing. And the appearance of the deity is like that, and all phenomena is like that, beyond the extremes of coming into existence, abiding, and disappearing. And sometimes just simply practice resting in the essence of the nature of mind. If you know how to recognize nature of mind, then practice resting in that nature.
근데 다 되게 기름 가서 그래요. 네, 做数体啥方式？
So I have taught the three main principles of the practice of arising stage.
네, 아직 플라키에 비가를 하고 동원이는 인지는 선생님 도현지를 가고 나랑 살아야고. 근데 어색해 빨리가 뜨. 근데 뒤에서 라는 두가냐 칠. 마음 빠우도 마음 그 요즘 나랑 추억 나랑 떨어지. 타는 사람들 안 해. 근데 맞다.
And so, in the process of the visualization, then first of all, as I described, first meditate upon emptiness. And then from that emptiness, meditate on great compassion for all sentient beings with the decision to set up the body in the form of the deity for the benefit of all sentient beings, and then you appear as the form of the deity. Then you blaze light from your heart to invoke the wisdom deity that you imagine then is invoked and comes and dissolves inseparable from you. And then from your heart streams light out, and this light is in the form of the offering gods and goddesses who all surround you and offer you, make offerings to you and sing your praises, and then all dissolve into light and are absorbed back into you. And then you count and recite the mantras. So is this odd to emanate and then oneself, offering to oneself and praising to oneself? Then, on the one hand, I have become this great deity. And then this one in front is praising my form. However, this is my own emanation. In the end, this dissolves back into me. At the time of the recitation of the mantra, there's many different visualizations, but there are two basic points. And so, so you from the seed syllable is the like the seed syllable of the life force that is in your heart. Then this emanates immeasurable light that goes out as offering, invocation offering to all the Buddhas and all the Bodhisattvas. And then all of those then are transformed into the appearance of your yidam and then are absorbed back into you. So that, for instance, each of the different deities has their own seed syllable. Rinpoche has the heart seed syllable of the hum, or Chenrezig the syllable shri, or Tara has the syllable tam. Each deity has its own seed syllable. And so from that the light goes out and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are transformed into the deity that you are meditating upon and then are absorbed back into you. And so this is this first phase of the visualization is for one's own benefit to receive the blessing.
nhưng mà đấy cái chỉ cái răng thôi là mới dân mà nó chơi nhà và yida tuần rồi mi là 아마 이 로바를 탐지를 참 냐와리 도지를 신간 냐의 선진 탐지 미주 도지다 도지를 봐 아니 이다시 이다 로바를 탐지 다 탐지 상계신 탐지 상계송 상
And next, then the light, all kinds of immeasurable light blazes out from your heart and goes and illuminates all of the 6 realms of samsara, and completely fills and pervades all the 6 realms. And so all the hell realms are transformed into the pure land of the Vajra family, and all the beings in the hell realms become transformed into the Buddha Akshobhya. And so, or they transform into your own form of your own yidam. And so thus all of the beings of all of the realms are transformed into those Buddha realms or into the form of your own yidam. And so then you must think that all beings without exception have attained this state of complete liberation, complete enlightenment. So the essence of all sentient beings is Buddha. So thinking that this incidental blemish of the confusion of sentient beings is purified. And then you're like the umzi,
chanting master.
the chanting master.
And 그런 거잖아. 어마어마해서 너버들 센센 탐지게 어마어마해서 그러면 돼서.
And so with you as the chant master, then suppose you are chanting Benzaguru, so you're chanting like that, and you think that all sentient beings are joining in this chant, and you are like leading them and making this vast sound throughout the whole of samsara of the mantra of Guru Rinpoche. And if you do like that, then and just recite one mantra like that, it has the benefit of reciting a vast number of the mantras. And then you must think that the mind of all sentient beings is the same essence as the mind of the yidam. And this is called for the benefit of others, the visualization of stirring up the depths of samsara. So then, now at the end of your session, then you must accomplish the dissolution phase. And so you have manifested this vast phase where all of the universe, the outer vessel of the universe is the Pure Land, the deity, and all the beings are which is the contents of the universe, are all the deities. And so now the outer vessel of the universe dissolves into the contents, meaning all of the yidam deities. And so all the yidams are up in the sky. So once the container has dissolved into them, then they fall down to the ground. There is no ground. So therefore they do not fall down. And then in the second moment, then all of those dissolve into oneself. And then one's own self dissolves into this seed syllable in the heart. And then this vanishes into emptiness.
empty.
Oh, it becomes empty.
Empty sama dulu.
And then just rest the mind in a state of relaxation in that.
추는 냐용도. 냐다들. 추 냐가는 거 루브도 냐시도. 되는지 감각. 플라. 말하는 거. 선생님들아 다가가 그것도 내 정신을 조성.
And then after that, just like a fish leaping out of the water, so that there's the water and it's completely smooth, and suddenly a fish just jumps right up out of the water, then in the same way, you reappear completely, perfectly as the yidam, all the universe is the Pure Land, all beings is the deity, the body is the deity, the speech is the mantra, the mind is the samadhi, all absolutely perfect. A mandala, just like a fish leaping out of the water. And then you make the dedication prayer. And then that's it. And so therefore we leave it like that.
10-minute break.
10-minute break. 10-minute break.
이담 살고 있네. 고기. 제물.
So what is the result of meditating on the feet? The ultimate result is to recognize the nature of mind. Based upon this conceptual, the non-conceptual arises. And in the temporal sense, then many of the powers and qualities of the enlightened activity, such as pacifying, enriching, magnetizing and destroying, and many other activities of the deity. So based upon that, many powers and abilities arise. And because all appearance, the root of all appearance is mind itself, if one gains mastery of the mind and recognizes the nature of mind, then all appearance could be transformed. I'm going to give you an example. Logic. I'm going to tell you a story. Some long time ago. So once upon a time, long time ago, there was a cow herd. This must have been in India. And so this cow herd, at the age of about 60 or so, decided to retire, and so he gave up his work of tending to the cattle. However, he was really fond of cows, especially the ones with the two horns. So he, having retired in this way, he thought, oh, now I'm 60 years old and I should practice Dharma, so I must go find a teacher.
ritchik na drubuk jaga tutup ta jiwol jing amjola lungda ta mingna kalta tawate
So he wandered around all over the place looking for a teacher, and eventually he came to a place where there was a cave, and inside the cave was one of the Indian siddhas with his hair heaped up into a knot, with the big earrings hanging from his ears, his belly slightly drawn out, and he was sitting in there staring up at the sky. And so just simply seeing this, he experienced spontaneous faith. And so he said, "Oh, Lama Chen, please give me teachings, please teach me."
Lama dire hola shine sambalu shaye shine ge tat na.
And so the Lama said, "Okay, I will." So the Guru taught him the meaning of shine.
Shine migul myabat.
The shine without any reference, without any concept,
without object.
Without object.
Ni ta Quran 잡으지나 라마를 타니올을 잡으지나 then shine go there.
And so very close by in another cave adjacent, then the old cowherd sat near the Lama and tried meditating upon this shine without object. But he couldn't meditate. Because in his mind he kept seeing his cows. And so he kept seeing like, oh, it's time to take the cows in, to put the cows out, take them up to the hill, feed them the hay and so on. And above all, he kept thinking of his favorite cows with the two horns. And so then he thought, oh, this is no good, I'm getting distracted, I've got to stop that. So he sort of shook himself up again and then once again went to meditate on the shine. But immediately his mind began thinking of the cows. And in his mind, however much he tried, he couldn't stop thinking of the cows. And the more he thought of the cows, the more clear they came in his mind. And so he got fed up and worn out and went back to see the Lama. And so he went back to the Lama and he said, oh, I don't know, I must have very poor, no merit at all. I cannot meditate and I just cannot seem to do it. And he cried in front of the Lama. And the Lama said, well, so when you meditate, what is the problem? And he said, well, for 60 years I took care of cattle, of cows, and so this bad habit of thinking about the cows, it comes in and disrupts my meditation all the time. And so the Lama said, oh, now this is not an obstacle, so I'm going to teach you meditation about cows, with the cows. So he was very happy to hear this. So he said, okay, so now meditate that you're doing all these things with the cows. So actually you should think that I'm walking along with the cows, I'm taking the cows up to the mountain, I'm feeding the cows their hay, I'm bringing them in, I'm putting them out. And I'm just going around with the cows.
Thế là mấy người chết.
And then rest, non-distracted on this, of moving around with the cows.
Nó 봐줘 봤어.
And then look at the cows.
nó có thể chết.
And so that's what he did.
Bây giờ
And it came very good.
Ini lama aku mencari. Lama cari baju kau mencari tanah tu. Tapi aku dulu lama sih.
And so then he came back to the Lama and he said, oh, you gave me this instruction on meditating with the cows, and this is really coming. It's very, very good.
Lama kau tak pilih setiap aku. Cara baju kau, cara kalau baju kau raja ni sahaja.
And so then the Lama said, oh, very good. So now meditate on yourself as a cow with the two horns on your own head.
Ini kau mah tahu kan? Ada orang baju kau. Oh, sih. Boleh baju. Oh.
So he went into the cave and he meditated on himself with his hoofs and his horns and the bellow, like the bellowing noise of the cow.
And this translated to English.
And so he meditated in this way. His meditation became very, very clear. You can also meditate in this way. But to you, the appearance of the cow doesn't come so much, right? So you could meditate on yourself as a car.
나랑 말하지 나 말하는 말하다 차를 라이브에 또 사람들이 막 배브레스를 또 골든 게임
Like that, so meditating. Did you go? Meditate upon this nature of the city of San Francisco. And in that city of San Francisco, I am driving a car. I'm going along driving this car. See the house, the different cars. Through this, you accomplish shine. Kirim or rising stage is a lot like this. You need to meditate on I am the deity. And the outer world is this pure land of the deity. And the houses and so on, this is the palace of great liberation, the limitless palace. So you could, whether you meditated like that or as the building is like the building of the city of San Francisco, it's the same. So what is the difference with the rising stage?
하고 데리지 차셔라 기름쟁이. 되게 그 펜도 친구 용어예요. 마도 신에게 차대 기름 거보다 셀레스도 그 자석 어머니 찍고 있어요.
So the difference is that within the arising stage there is this aspect of the recognition of the nature of dharmata, the nature of phenomena.
기름 남아, yidam 타에 맞아, 아니 남다 제발, 나가 주님 뭐지 봐니 봐, 딱 이식 꾸, 이식 루 이식 근데 이 사람은 거기에 싫어. 쌤은 다고 나와. 라고 저기 클래스지 이식을 하지 사람 거기로. 뒤에 다만 장 다고 나와디 영어요. 개발도 하고 해. 세면서도 쓰리나? 나 쓰리래 강발에 주는 거. 이제 신의 둘의 차로 지고 해.
So in the arising stage, there's these aspects of the Vajra pride, the pride of thinking, I am the deity. And then there's the aspect of the considering or remembering the utter purity of all of the symbols, of the form and so on. And so through that arises the pure appearance of the recognition of pure appearance. And so, but from the aspect of the shine, just the calm abiding aspect, the meditation upon the city of San Francisco and the realm of the deity and so on, it's the same in terms of the shine aspect. But in terms of this recognition coming from the Vajra pride and remembering the utter purity, then through this one, from this, then great blessings arise and the impure is transformed to the pure, whereas the meditating on the city of San Francisco cannot transform to the pure. However, it does accomplish the shine aspect.
근데 이제 다 이제 봐주고 보면서 와. 아니 말한 거를 아주 봐주 사는 검들이 이만씩 거칠을 집어당하라고 했어.
So remember the man meditating in the cave on himself as a cow. So with the horns and so on. So one day he had to go up from his cave to pee.
자고 가는데 늘 맞아 배우고 자고도 갑자기 툭 버렸어.
And so the cave mouth was fairly small, like so. And so as he got up to go out, he heard all this knocking noise around in the front of the cave. And so wondering what this is, he looked up and there he had two great big horns. And then he became really afraid that, on my head, two cow horns have grown. And so he got out and then he went very quickly to the Lama's cave. And so he went to the Lama and said, you told me to meditate on myself as a cow with two horns just like the cow. And now look at me, I've grown two horns.
라마 제발 다른 사람 마음에 들어네 내 거를 나중에 사는 거 근데 가래 이용도 따위.
And the Lama said, never mind, so go back and meditate some more, thinking, I do not have cow horns on my head. And so he went back inside in his cave, thinking, I have no cow horns, I have no cow horns. So, and after a while, he touched up there and he didn't have any horns. And so he thought, this is very strange. So he went immediately back to the Lama. Just like he said, I meditated on that I had no horns, and now I have no horns. And he asked, well, what is the meaning of this strange thing? And so the Lama said that by the power of this, gaining mindfulness of non-distraction on the cows, you actually completely accomplished this calm abiding. And so you attained a little bit of this self-control, control over the mind.
이 지나는 걸 라주 깨워있어.
And because you thought I have horns on my head, then horns appeared.
근데 그걸 라주 여러 산 건데 never 잘.
And when you meditated that there were no horns, then the horns disappeared.
이 라주 여러 주위에 나와 투위에 무슨 독초에 매선이 never 돼. 띵이가 지나는 셈을 주어야 돼.
And thus, when you meditate that you have horns, then actually horns appeared. You can even feel them and touch them. And when you meditate that there are no horns, then they disappear. This shows that things appear from the mind. And that you had horns and that you have no horns, both of these is manifestation of your own mind. This does not apply just to the horns that appear or do not appear on your head. This is how all appearance is. And then the cowherd thought, therefore all phenomena is emptiness. And so he understood that. And thus he realized the meaning of Platon. And so in this way, from first meditating upon the cow horns or no horns, then he achieved mastery of Shine. And then from recognizing that just like these cow horns, that all appearance was utterly emptiness, then he mastered Platon. And so then he realized the union of Shine and Platon, the calm abiding and profound insight, and became one of the great Mahasiddhas. But in your case, you can attain this state of Mahasiddha from thinking about driving the car.
I have two questions. One is in the cow story. I have two questions. The first one is, in the cow story, did the Lama also see the horns?
Yes, he saw them.
The second is, so the idea that all appearances are mind created, is that mind-only school?
No. No, because in the mind-only school, then in that view, then one actually believes that only the mind exists, that the mind actually exists, and that all other phenomena is non-existent, but just the mind exists. And in this case, the mind also is emptiness. So it is not positing that the mind is existent. And so, as I spoke before, when you meditate upon the deity, then first of all your experience would be like the stream flowing from the high mountain. And then in the middle period, then your meditation will be smooth like the river flowing through the plain, where sometimes you see both the color and the shape and everything very clear, sometimes disappearing, but generally seeing this nature just like the river flowing, meandering across the plain. And in the end it'll become like the ocean without waves. So if you should say, well, what is the benefit of this? So there is the outward appearing impure world, the inwardly impure self, the impure mind, and between the two is the impure wind. The mind, the wind. So this impure wind is like the horse, the steed of the impure mind. So all of this, like thinking, discursive thinking, all of this is caused by the wind. So we speak of brain waves, correct? Well, in the Buddhist perspective, the brain waves is wind. Neuron. The neuron is like the nadi. Serotonin, dopamine, brain cell. And then there's the brain cells, and this is like the tigli. And so this wind is extremely powerful. And so by transforming this wind, then the nadi is transformed and also the tigli is transformed. And so normally this impure wind going out through the senses then carries the impure mind to fixate on the objective fields of sensation of the impure world of appearance. So when one meditates upon the deity, then the world, the outer world, manifests as a pure appearance, and oneself as the deity, as the pure appearance of the deity. And so the impure wind has no opportunity to carry the impure mind out through the senses and so on. And so this impure wind is kind of held. And as that's held in that way, then it becomes transformed, and it transforms into this pure wind of transformation. And so the wind, the nadis and the tigli also become transformed. And from transforming that, then the impure mind of itself becomes transformed. And so one helps the other, and then the other helps the other, like that. And so this impure appearance of oneself from one's own body, this becomes purified. And so the first experience is that of the body appearing no longer as the impure body. The body is composed of the 5 elements. From the earth, the water, fire, air, and space. The nature of earth is the flesh and the bones. The water element is the blood, liquids. And the fire element is the warmth. And the wind element is the breath. And the space element is the empty component of the body and the pervasiveness of the mind. And so to begin with, in your visual field, you see like little things moving, look like little moving things, and sometimes we call it floaters that are floating down, falling down. You see all those little things moving around in the eye field of vision. Like fireflies, they're like fireflies. Like a mirage. And so at the time of death, if you remember, then the elements dissolve into each other in the dying process. And at that time, in conclusion of the dying process, all of those little firefly-like things that appear in the vision appear. And so at that time of the dissolution of the element of earth into the element of water, then it's that one has the sensation of a great big earthquake, and everything becomes yellow in color, and one feels to be turned upside down and has like a sense of we call vertigo. And so one gets the impression that the water element dissolves into the whole ocean, or that the fire element is consumed in the whole of the fire, and the wind element is just dissolves and becomes part of the whole wind element. And at the end, then all becomes like dark, just like empty. And then after that, from that state of oblivion, then there's the appearance of the clear light, which is the inexpressible manifestation of primordial wisdom. And so then after that, just in the way that the elements have dissolved and then disappeared, then they reappear in the opposite sequence. They reappear again, and at that time that reappears as the illusory body. So this body that appears is not the impure body. However, it is not the utterly pure body, because you haven't attained Buddhahood at that point. And so one may call this it's the mixed of the pure and the impure body, or one may say that out of the coarse and the fine, it is or coarse and subtle, it is the subtle body. This is one's own projection. Others cannot see this. Okay, I've made a fatal mistake in this translation. I'm sorry. So this, we're not referring to actually the death sequence.
Oh.
So I've backtracked just a little bit. Okay, please forgive me. So this is referring to when this is actualized, where the impure wind no longer has this opportunity to carry the impure mind into appearance. Remember that, yes? Then what starts to happen is the dissolution of the elements one into the other. It does not result in death, but it goes to this point where the body dissolves, the coarse body dissolves, elements one into the other, and then reappears as this illusory body. And so this illusory body to others appears just like your own body, but it is the So at that point, then one's own self recognizes that this is the illusory. Perceives this body as the illusory body, but others see it as your flesh and blood ordinary body. They cannot see this illusory body. This is because, although through this, then my own appearance has become pure. The others, still, their appearance has not become pure. So actually now you have, we have two bodies. Sort of like two bodies. You have your own perceived body, your own manifestation, and you have the body that others perceive you as having. And so when you die, this body of your own manifestation is cut, it's gone. But but the others still see this corpse. Whose is that perception? It is the others' perception where they see the corpse. Your own perception is gone. That your body has gone at that point. So thus, in this practice, one's own manifestation of one's body is purified. However, at this point, one is still not yet, hasn't achieved Buddhahood. One is on the path. And so sometimes in these days, some people, they get some little bit experience of Shine, and they think, oh, great realization, I'm like the Buddha, I'm like enlightened one. So from this, having purified in this way, and from this then through, gradually through the path, through the process of so without birth or death, then gradually one achieves the ultimate state of Buddhahood. This is the fruit. I forgot what else I should say. Now I'm thinking of that. Now, as far as the post-meditation practice, then there is the post-meditation that is post-meditation of the arising stage. There is the post-meditation of the Tsalung Tigli meditation practice, and there is the post-meditation of the meditation of one's own essence, nature. So there's post-meditation for each of these different ways. So I'm going to refer a little bit to the post-meditation of the arising stage. And so, in this post-meditation of the arising stage, then one must think of oneself as the deity, of all others as the deity, and then, for instance, one has food. So you have the food, thinking that in this very special jewel-encrusted container, vast container, then there appears the food which you bless with the body, speech, and mind symbol, the Om, Ah, Hum, and transform it into nectar, and then offer it to all of the deities, visualizing or thinking that all of the mandala of the deities reside within my body of the deities. And so you eat the food and offer it to all the deities. And with this, and so this is a vast accumulation of merit, and it's like enjoying the great Gana Chakra feast. And then when anger arises, then you think anger is Vajrasattva. And anger is then transformed into the body of Vajrasattva.
맞을 게 없는데 맞을 때 렌진 존이래. 맞을 때 렌진 존을 거죠.
And so when pride arises, then pride is transformed into the body of Ratnasambhava.
도자때 나와요.
And the desire transformed to Amitabha.
차도에 동해줘.
And the jealousy transformed to Amoga Siddhi.
뿅 남았는데.
And then torpor or stupidity is transformed into Vairochana.
사도도 하고는 제동이야.
And so if you understand this, this is a very good post-meditation practice. If you're not able to do that, then when you wake up in the morning early, then give right or generate the refuge and bodhicitta. And then think, I too am the deity. In essence, I'm the same as the Buddha. And it's fine if you can't meditate upon the body color and all of the implements and so on. If you can't meditate on the deity itself, that's okay. My body, this body itself is the deity. All beings are the deity. Some are fat, some are thin. Some of the deities are like big and corpulent, and some are slender. It's the same. Some people are good looking and some are not. It's just the same with the deities. The meaning is that the Buddha and sentient beings are of the same nature, sameness. And thus the whole outer vessel of the universe is emptiness, right? And so therefore, because all appearance is emptiness, it is Dharmakaya. And so if you're able to recognize in this way, then the realms of all sentient beings you recognize is the Buddha realms. So you recognize that the hell realms is the Vajra family Buddha realm of the Vajra family. And thus all of the universe is like that. This world is like that. It is not something else. And so if you all of the mantras of the Buddhas subsumed into one mantra, it's the 3 syllables of Om Ah Hum. And all the mantras are subsumed into those 3. Om body, Ah speech, Hum mind. And this mantra of the 3 syllables, we have that nature of ourselves in our own selves. So this breathing in, the breath coming in, this is Om. And the breath residing inside is Ah. Breathing out is Hum. That is our own nature. Look at that, recognize that.
퍼도 내봤어요. 야 템바다 마 땅원이 바르게 퍼도 내봤어요.
And so, so in this of the om breathing in, the is just that moment before breathing out, like right between inhale and exhale is and as you exhale is hum.
나라는 선제 탐제에 대한 게
Oneself and all sentient beings are this way. So therefore, just think that is the way it is.
얘네 아후 무슨 롱도 짠 저게 참 유자지 좀 되지. 칸이 너무 말해. 상관없이.
So therefore, in the morning, just do that 21 times. Just rest the mind in that recognition of the Om Ahum. Not saying it out loud, just in your mind.
니는 저랑 그냥 내가 저와 개화를 잘했어.
If you do this, then throughout the whole day, whatever you do becomes great virtue.
말을 그런 거 같아요. 개화를 잘해. 미국 고집하면 개화 잘했어.
And so all of your not
롱 준축한 개화를 그래. 미국 주가 되면 다 개화를 주도 그래.
so the movement of one's speech becomes virtue. The movement of your body becomes virtue.
얘네 건강만 내가 나물라 무엇을 하고 싶어.
And then at the time that you go to bed at night, go to sleep, then make a very good dedication prayer.
내가 니고 차라나 도자 차라나서 니어먹고 영화 있나?
So then during the daytime, say in the day, if you have all kinds of emotions like lust or anger,
나야 빨리 코야 빨리 나 시간은 도자 민도.
then think, I am the deity, he is the deity, and the deity actually doesn't have hatred and desire.
감각 똥은 좋아.
So thus everything's like emptiness, right?
민음은 주먹다고 그 하래.
All is like it's the deity that's just like like a dream. It's like
dream illusion.
Like a dream, like a magical illusion. It's the deity that's like a dream or a magic or an illusion.
쑥 재단한 거예요. 쑥이 쑥으로 재단한 거고.
So who has to generate anger directed at who?
하여튼 지금